So good afternoon, dear friends, and once again welcome back to our course of control system. In the last lecture, we saw some numerical on how to calculate the error coefficient and the value of steady state error for different types of system. So we solved some 3 to 4 numerical in the last lecture, and in those numerical, we may have the open loop transfer function of system, and that system is excited by some set of input signal. It may be step input, it may be ramp input, or it may be a parabolic input, and ultimately our objective is to calculate the value of static error coefficient and the value of steady state error corresponding to each type of input signal. So ultimately the thing is that in order to solve those numerical, you must have the knowledge of positional error coefficient, velocity error coefficient, acceleration error coefficient, their mathematical expressions, and how to calculate the value of steady state error for each type that you have to remember. And if you know and if you apply the logic properly, you will get the answers. And this was our last numerical, in which closed loop transfer functional system with unity feedback control system is given to us, and our objective is to determine its steady state error when it is excited by a unit ramp input signal. And finally we got this answer. The value of steady state error is alpha minus k whole divided by beta. Now in this lecture we are going to start another topic from unit number 3, which deals with how to determine the time response of a control system. For example, if you are interested to find out the time response analysis of a control system, so how you are going to do that analysis, what are the steps which we need to apply in order to obtain the time response analysis of any control system, that we are going to learn. So first of all, we are going to discuss the general steps that we need to apply to any control system in order to obtain its time response analysis, and then these steps we are going to apply for first order control system and second order control system, and then we need to make some conclusions from that analysis. So let us try to understand what are the basic steps, or you can say these are the general steps which we need to implement in order to obtain the time response analysis of any control system, irrespective of its order. It may be first order, it may be second order, or it may be a third order. The first step is we need to obtain the overall transfer function of the system. It means that if you are interested to determine the time response analysis of a control system, so for that control system you must know what will be the overall transfer function of that particular system. Now it is your responsibility to obtain the overall transfer function of that particular system, maybe via mathematical modeling analysis, or maybe via some pictorial technique, like example block diagram reduction technique or signal flow graph. कहने का मतलब है कि depending upon the type of numerical, if in the numerical the system is represented in the form of some pictorial view, maybe it represented in the form of say block, then in that case you need to apply block diagram reduction technique to obtain its overall transfer function. In some cases it may possible that the representation of system is available in the form of signal flow, then in that case you need to apply the logic of Mason's gain formula to obtain its overall transfer function. Or sometimes it may possible that the system is represented in the form of some physical sets of equation, then you need to apply Laplace transform and finally obtain the what we can say parametric function of that particular system, which is nothing but the overall transfer function. So कहने का मतलब है कि जो भी आपने यूनिट नंबर 1 और यूनिट नंबर 2 में पढ़ा है, डिफरेंट टाइप्स के टेक्निक जिसके थ्रू आप किसी भी सिस्टम का ट्रांसफर फंक्शन निकालते हो, तो आपको वो टेक्निक अप्लाई करके स्टेप नंबर 1 में उस पर्टिकुलर सिस्टम का ट्रांसफर फंक्शन फाइंड करना है. इन मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस ट्रांसफर फंक्शन इज डायरेक्टली गिवन टू अस. अगर गिवन है तो बहुत ही अच्छी बात है, अगर नहीं गिवन है तो आपको कोई ना कोई तरीके से उस पर्टिकुलर सिस्टम का ट्रांसफर फंक्शन निकालना पड़ेगा. दिस विल बी योर फर्स्ट स्टेप. Then second step is we need to determine the response of system in frequency domain, that is C of S, by considering the type of reference input signal. This is very important step. So in step number 2, what we need to do, we need to obtain the response of the system but in frequency domain. That means we need to find the value of C of S. And in order to calculate the value of C of S, we need to take which type of input is provided as an excitation to that particular system. When I say that we need to obtain the time response analysis of control system, then in that case, definitely we need to define the parametric function of that system, which is nothing but function, which we got from equation number 1, or which we got from step number 1. And then in order to calculate the value of response in frequency domain, we must specify which type of input signal is provided in the form of excitation to that. That means we need to define the value of R of t, and corresponding to R of t, we need to find R of s, because we need to find the response in frequency domain. That means C of s. So this is your step number 2. Determine the response of a system in frequency domain, which is nothing but C of s, by identifying which type of input is provided in the form of excitation. It may be step, it may be ramp, or it may be parabolic. Then step number 3, because we need to obtain the response in time. See here, our objective is to find the time response analysis. So in step number 2, whatever the response we got for the system, it is in frequency, which is nothing but C of s, but we want C of t. So in step number 3, what we need to do, we need to apply inverse Laplace transform to the output which we got from step number 2, in order to convert that response from frequency domain to time domain. And that is to be done by applying the logic of inverse Laplace transform. So we need to apply inverse Laplace transform to determine the value of response in time domain. So it is going to be equal to C of t, which is nothing but Laplace inverse of C of s. So this will be your step number 3. Now suppose if you're interested to segregate the value of transient response and steady state response, then in that case, what we need to do? For example, if you see the output of step number 3, it is nothing but the overall response of that particular system. So this C of t indicate your entire time response. And I told you that the time response has 2 parts. It consists of transient response as well as सिस्टम का स्टेडी स्टेट रिस्पॉन्स क्या है, और सपोज इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड टू फाइंड जो गिवन सिस्टम उसका ट्रांजिएंट रिस्पॉन्स क्या है, देन व्हाट टेक्निक यू नीड टू अप्लाई आफ्टर स्टेप नंबर 3. सो in order to calculate the value of steady state response of a system, we need to apply this mathematical formula. So CSS of t is nothing but limit t tends to infinite C of t. So what is CSS of t? This indicates your steady state response. And I told you that steady state response is nothing but that part of your total response which remain in the system once your transient response is completely eliminated. और transient response कब eliminate हो जाएगा? जब आप C of t का वैल्यू t tends to infinite पे फाइंड आउट करेंगे, क्योंकि हमें पता है कि ट्रांजिएंट रिस्पांस का वैल्यू लिमिट t tends to infinite पे कंप्लीटली एलिमिनेट हो जाएगा. तो जो भी रिस्पांस बचेगा at t tends to infinite of C of t, that value indicate the steady state response of the system. And from step number 4, we got the value of steady state response of the system. From step number 3, we know the total response of the system. And suppose if you're interested to find out transient response, so how to calculate transient response? We need to subtract steady state response from overall response. So automatically, whatever the value which we are having with us, that value indicate the response of that particular system. So in step number 5, we are going to determine the transient response of the system by using this mathematical formula. So Ct of t indicate transient response, which is nothing but the total response minus steady state response. So these are the 5 general steps which we need to implement in order to obtain the time response analysis of any control system. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So in step number 1, we need to obtain overall transfer function. In step number 2, we need to obtain response in frequency domain, which is nothing but C of s, by identifying the type of reference input signal. Then step number 3, we need to apply inverse Laplace transform to convert the response from frequency domain to time domain, which is nothing but C of t. And then in step number 4 and step number 5, we are going to bifurcate the value of steady state response and transient response depending upon our requirement. अगर मान लो आपको न्यूमेरिकल में सिर्फ पूछा गया कि डिटरमाइन द वैल्यू ऑफ टाइम रिस्पांस एनालिसिस ऑफ कंट्रोल सिस्टम, तो आपका आंसर यूनिट नंबर 3 पे ही या फिर स्टेप नंबर 3 पे ही आके क्लोज हो जाएगा, बिकॉज स्टेप नंबर 3 का जो आउटपुट है that itself indicate the overall time response. Lekin in case if you are interested to find out, or if in numerical it is asked to determine the steady state response, then in that case we need to go for step number 4. And suppose if you're interested to find out what will be the transient response, then in that case we need to go for step number 5. So I want you to please note down these general steps in order to obtain the time response analysis of any control system. Then these steps we are going to apply in order to obtain the time response analysis for first order control system and second order control system. So please take a note of all these steps which we need to implement to obtain the time response analysis of control system. Determine the overall transfer function, then determine response in frequency by considering the type of input reference signal, then apply inverse Laplace transform to obtain response in time domain. Then step number 4 and 5 to bifurcate the value of steady state and transient responses. And these steps you can apply to any numerical. If you have a numerical on time response analysis, and if in that your objective is to obtain the steady state response or transient response or overall response, you have to apply these steps. In some numerical, overall transfer function is directly known to us. Then we need to start from step number 2. And in some numerical, if the system is available in the form of mathematical sets of equation or in the form of pictorial representation, then we need to apply the concepts of BDRT, Mason's gain formula, or mathematical modeling of control system to obtain its overall transfer function. So I want you to please note down these steps and inform me once you are done with this. हो गया आपका लिख के?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now, let us try to determine the time response analysis of first order control system. Now, before we will start our actual topic, first of all, we should know what is the meaning of order of a control system, or how to identify the order of control system. What is the meaning of this order? So in control system, you must know the meaning of this order, or how to identify the order of control system. So order of control system is simply the highest power of S available in denominator polynomial of transfer function. So what is order? It is nothing but the highest power of S. As I told you, the transfer function is nothing but the ratio of Laplace of output by Laplace of input by assuming all initial conditions to be 0. Or simply I can say that transfer function is nothing but the ratio of two polynomial in S domain, numerator polynomial and denominator polynomial. And denominator polynomial of transfer function is also known as characteristic equation. So if you equate denominator polynomial to 0, so you will determine the poles of that particular system. And in order to determine the order, you just observe what will be the highest power of S available in the denominator polynomial. So that power of S available in denominator polynomial itself indicate the order of control system. So order of a control system, it is simply the highest power of S available in denominator polynomial of a transfer function. In case of first order control system, when I say that the order of control system is first, that means the highest power of S available in the denominator polynomial function of that transfer function is going to be equal to 1. So highest power of S अगर आपके denominator polynomial function में 1 रहेगा, then in that case we can say that the order of that particular system is nothing but 1. This is very important. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So this you have to remember. So order of a control system is nothing but the highest power of S available in the denominator polynomial of transfer function. Sometimes order of system is also defined as how many number of poles are available in that particular system, because order means what? Suppose if the highest power of S available in denominator polynomial function is 2, for example S square plus 2S plus 2, so this S square, because we have the highest power of S available in denominator polynomial function is 2, that's why we can say that the order of that particular system is 2. But if you equate that particular term to 0 and if you try to find out the value of S, you will get two roots, and those two roots indicate the poles of that particular system. So order of system is nothing but how many number of poles available in that particular system. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
कहने का मतलब है कि जो ऑर्डर रहेगा आपके सिस्टम का, दैट इटसेल्फ इंडिकेट कि उस पर्टिकुलर सिस्टम में कितने नंबर ऑफ पोल्स है. इट मे बी पोल अवेलेबल एट ओरिजिन और इट मे बी पोल अवेलेबल एट एनी लोकेशन और एट एनी कॉम्प्लेक्स फ्रीक्वेंसी. द थिंग इज दैट if in a given control system you have 3 pole, then we can say that the order of that particular system is nothing but 3. If you have 4 pole, then we can say that the order of that particular system is nothing but 4, because if you try to evaluate the denominator polynomial function and equate that particular system to 0, you will have 4 different sets of complex frequency, and those indicate the poles of that particular system. So order is simply how many number of poles available in that transfer function, or simply it is the highest power of S. So if we have first order, that means the highest power of S is nothing but 1. Now let us take the general representation for first order control system. And the block diagram for first order control system is given by like this. So this block diagram or this system indicate your first order control system. Now how to identify whether it is a first order or second order? We need to obtain its overall transfer function by applying elimination of closed loop. And let us try to examine what will be the highest power of S available in denominator polynomial function. And if the highest power of S available in denominator polynomial is nothing but 1, then easily we can comment that the order of the system is nothing but 1. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So I want you to please note down this, write down the block diagram representation for first order control system is given by, and you need to draw this. So this indicate the general representation for block diagram of first order control system. So here R of S is the reference input, E of S is the error signal, C of S is the controlled output, and 1 upon ST. And here we have a unity feedback control system. So in this case, the value of G of S is nothing but 1 upon ST, and the value of H of S is nothing but 1. So this is what the example of your unity feedback control system. So here the value of H of S is going to be equal to 1, and the nature of feedback signal is negative. So if you are interested to find out its overall transfer function, we need to apply elimination of closed loop. So G of S upon 1 plus G of S into H of S, where G of S is 1 upon ST and H of S is nothing but 1. And let us try to find out the overall transfer function. So if you apply elimination of closed loop, the overall transfer function for the system is like this. C of S by R of S is nothing but 1 upon ST plus 1. And that will be your equation number 1. Please check and confirm कि आपको ये मिल रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir.
Exactly, ये मिलेगा आपको 1 upon ST plus 1. Now, if you check the type of the system, if you check the order of the system, here the highest power of S available in denominator polynomial function is nothing but 1. Here we have only S, so power is nothing but 1. That's why the order of this particular system is nothing but 1. Or simply if you equate this denominator polynomial function to 0, so you came to know that here we have only one pole which is available at -1 upon capital T. Because we have only one pole, that's why the order of the system is 1. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So order of system is simply how many number of poles available in that particular system, or it may be defined as the highest power of s available in denominator polynomial function. So that's why that particular block diagram represent first order control system, because if you obtain the transfer function, it is 1 upon st plus 1. That's why it is first order control system. So our objective is to obtain the time response analysis, and in time response analysis, we need to apply those 4 to 5 steps one by one. So first step is we need to obtain the overall transfer function of that particular system. Just now we came to know that the overall transfer function for the system is 1 upon st plus 1. So this is nothing but the output of your step number 1. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Now in step number 2, what we need to do? We need to obtain the response in frequency domain. But in order to find out the response in frequency domain, mathematically from equation number 1, I can write C of s is nothing but R of s multiplied by this entire term. बरोबर है?
Yes, sir.
Now to calculate C of s, I must know what will be the value of R of s, and R of s depends upon which type of input signal is take to analyze the behavior of this system. It may be unit step, it may be unit ramp, or it may be unit parabolic. So in order to obtain the value of C of s, which is nothing but the response of control system in frequency domain, first of all, we need to identify, or we need to define which type of input signal we have taken to analyze the behavior of this system. So here we are trying to find out the time response of this system when it is subjected to a unit step input excitation. This is very important. That means we need to define कि मेरा जो R of s है वो क्या है. तो यहाँ हम लोगों ने डिफाइन किया है कि जब ये सिस्टम को मैं यूनिट स्टेप इनपुट सिग्नल दूंगा इन द फॉर्म ऑफ एक्साइटेशन, तो उसका जो रिस्पॉन्स आएगा इन टाइम डोमेन, दैट वी आर गोइंग टू फाइंड आउट. सो इक्वेशन नंबर 1 कैन बी रिटन एज C of s is nothing but R of s into 1 upon st plus 1. Now because we have taken the nature of input signal is unit step, that's why जो R of t रहेगा वो हो जाएगा आपका 1, because this indicate your step input, and if you apply Laplace you will get R of s as 1 by s. बरोबर है?
Yes, sir.
So I want you to please write down, as the input is unit step, that's why R of t is 1 and R of s is going to be 1 by s. Now what we need to do, we need to put the value of this R of s in this equation, or you may put this in equation number 1. They are nothing but the same thing. The thing is that in step number 2, we need to find the expression of response of a control system in frequency domain, which is nothing but C of s. And for that, we must define what is the nature of input, which is nothing but R of s. So if you put the value of R of s in the above equation, we can write C of s is nothing but 1 upon s into 1 upon st plus 1. इतना ही आएगा?
Yes, sir.
Now in step number 3, what we need to do? We need to apply inverse Laplace transform, because our objective is to find the response in time domain. जबकि आपका जो step number 2 के बाद में output आया है, this indicate the response in frequency domain. Here we have complex frequency, but we want response in time domain. So we need to apply inverse Laplace transform. But before applying inverse Laplace transform, first of all, we need to convert this into some standard form. Because अगर मैंने directly यहाँ पर inverse Laplace transform apply किया, तो आप इसका find out नहीं कर पाएंगे. Because इस type के functions का directly आप inverse Laplace नहीं निकाल पाएंगे. So before that, we need to apply some mathematical tool over here, or you can say partial fraction technique, to convert RHS, which is suitable to get the inverse Laplace transform of this particular system. So by applying partial fraction technique, I can write above equation like this. लिख सकते हैं क्या? C of s is nothing but a upon s plus b upon st plus 1. Is it possible to write this by applying partial fraction technique?
Yes, sir.
Now our objective is to find the value of a and b. So it is your responsibility. Apply proper logic and tell me what is the value of a and what will be the value of b. You need to cross multiply, then put s equals to 0. You will get the value of a. Then put s equals to minus 1 by t. You will get the value of b. So it is your responsibility to tell me the value of A and B. You have to solve this. Apply partial fraction technique, apply proper logic, and tell me what will be the value of A and what will be the value of B. Yes, चिन्मय, क्या रहेगा A और B? ये साक्षी आया आंसर A और B का? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
बताओ ना A और B क्या है, इतना क्यों टाइम लग रहा है? If you apply partial fraction technique, you will get A equal to 1 and B equal to minus t. Please confirm me कि A और B इतना आ रहा है क्या? See here, in order to solve numerical on control system, आपका मैथमेटिक्स स्ट्रांग होना चाहिए. आप मेरे से एक्सपेक्ट मत करो कि मैं आपको ये बताऊं कि ये A कैसे आया 1 और B कैसे आया माइनस टी. The thing is that you must know how to obtain इनवर्स लैपलास ट्रांसफॉर्म. फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं आपको ये टेक्निक नहीं बताता और स्ट्रेट अवे बोलता कि C of S का इनवर्स लैपलास निकालो, कैसे निकालोगे आप? You have to apply partial fraction technique. Convert this function which is acceptable by direct formulas. So apply A upon S plus B upon ST plus 1. इसको सॉल्व करना पड़ेगा आपको. LHS में आपको ये पुट करना पड़ेगा which is nothing but 1 upon S in bracket ST plus 1. Then multiply LHS RHS by S in bracket ST plus 1. तो ये इक्वेशन ऐसा बनेगा 1 which is equal to A into ST plus 1 then plus B into S. Now in order to calculate the value of A, we need to put S equals to 0. तो जब आपने यहाँ इस इक्वेशन में S की वैल्यू 0 पुट किया तो यहाँ आ जाएगा 1 which is equal to A in bracket this term is going to be 0. So 0 plus 1 then plus ये पूरा का पूरा टर्म हो जाएगा 0. So if you try to solve you will get the value of A is nothing but 1. तो ये आपको मिलेगा. In the same way in order to calculate the value of B you need to equate this particular term to 0. तो यहाँ से आपको S का वैल्यू मिल जाएगा minus 1 upon T. So if you put S equals to minus 1 upon T in this equation, you will get the value of B. So if you put S equals to minus 1 upon T, ये पूरा का पूरा टर्म 0 हो जाएगा. तो यहाँ आपके पास में आएगा B into S which is nothing but minus 1 upon T is going to be equal to 1. So if you solve, you will get B equals to minus T. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
तो ये आपको आना चाहिए. मेरे से एक्सपेक्ट मत करो कि मैं आपको ये सब कुछ बताऊं. अगर ये बताऊंगा तो कंट्रोल सिस्टम रह जाएगा. सी हियर in your technical subject, whatever the things which you have learned in your applied mathematics, maybe say 1 2 3 4, you must remember all those concepts. And actually ये जो आपने 11th 12th में पढ़ा है, the thing is that you need to apply that tool over here to analyze the behavior of the system. So if you apply that logic, you will get the value of A as 1 and B as minus 2. So put A equal to 1 and B equal to minus T over here. So if you put A equal to 1 and B equal to minus T over here, you will get this. C of S is nothing but 1 upon S minus T upon ST plus 1. So here B जो है आपका minus T है, so यहाँ आएगा minus T upon ST plus 1. Now this particular system, if you try to rearrange, if you take T common, this t will get cancelled. You can have C of s is 1 upon s minus 1 upon s plus 1 by t. This is nothing but acceptable to find the inverse Laplace transform. तो ये जो इक्वेशन आपके पास में है, C of s is nothing but 1 upon s minus 1 upon s plus 1 by t. अब इसको आप डायरेक्टली इनवर्स लैप्लास ट्रांसफॉर्म अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. सो व्हाट इज द इनवर्स लैप्लास ट्रांसफॉर्म ऑफ दिस 1 by s? 1 by s का इनवर्स लैप्लास ट्रांसफॉर्म कितना रहेगा?
1 रहेगा सर.
1 रहेगा. एंड व्हाट अबाउट दिस? व्हाट अबाउट दिस? इनवर्स लैप्लास ट्रांसफॉर्म ऑफ 1 upon s plus 1 by t कितना रहेगा?
e to the power minus 1 by t.
e to the power minus 1 by t. That is the reason I told you कि लैप्लास ट्रांसफॉर्म पढ़ो. अब समझ में आ रहा है क्यों बोला था? अब ये तो शुरुआत है. आने के समय तो आपको हर बार लैप्लास ट्रांसफॉर्म अप्लाई करना है, बिकॉज यू आर डीलिंग विद टाइम रिस्पॉन्स एनालिसिस. तो ये तो बहुत ही सिंपल सा इक्वेशन है. बाद में ऐसे ऐसे कॉम्प्लिकेशंस आएंगे सी ऑफ एस के कि पहले आपको पार्शियल फ्रैक्शन टेक्निक अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा. सो यू मस्ट नो how to obtain the partial fraction or how to apply partial fraction technique for any mathematical expression and how to find its reduced version. Then you need to apply inverse Laplace transform, क्योंकि जब तक आप inverse Laplace transform apply नहीं करोगे आपको C of t नहीं आएगा, और C of t is the minimum requirement. इसलिए बोल रहा था आपको कि आपने पढ़ना है Laplace transform, आपने रिवाइज करना है. पता नहीं आप में से कितने लोगों ने पढ़ा. अब समझ में आ रहा है कि कितने लोगों ने पढ़ा और कितने लोगों ने नहीं पढ़ा. So if you apply inverse Laplace transform on both sides, you will get this. Laplace inverse is nothing but C of s, which is equals to Laplace inverse 1 by s minus 1 upon s plus 1 by t. And if you apply proper logic, you will get this as an output. So C of t is nothing but 1 minus e to the power minus t by capital T. So this is what the time response of first order control system when it is excited by step input excitation. So this is our final output, which is nothing but output from step number 3. समझ में आया क्या कैसे निकाला?
Yes sir.
Now suppose if you are interested to find out the error signal का वैल्यू क्या रहेगा या steady state error का वैल्यू क्या रहेगा, then in that case error signal is given by E of t equal to, we can write mathematically E of t is nothing but R of t minus C of t at summing point, because this is suppose a summing point. So here you have R of t, which is nothing but reference input signal, and here what we can say have the combination like error signal is nothing but the reference input signal minus your C of t. And if you try to calculate, actually this error signal is nothing but your कैलकुलेशन फॉर स्टेडी स्टेट एरर. यहाँ ये E of t बाय डिफॉल्ट लिखा गया है, बट ये रहेगा आपका स्टेडी स्टेट एरर. E, or you can say error signal, but in time domain analysis. So if you calculate, it is nothing but e to the power minus t of t. So this indicate your transient time response analysis. And if you try to calculate the value of steady state error, it is going to be equal to ESS, which is limit t tends to infinite E of t, and the value is going to be equal to 0, which is very important. I can say that the system is absolutely stable if you have the time response analysis of that particular system when it is excited by a step input excitation. This is very important. And if you apply the logic to calculate the time response analysis bifurcation, suppose if you are interested to find out कि इसका steady state response क्या है, इसका transient response क्या है, तो वो भी आप यहाँ से find out कर सकते हैं. Suppose if you try to find the value of C of t when t tends to infinite, so if you put t tends to infinite, this term is going to be what? 0. So ultimately आपका जो final value है वो क्या रहेगा? 1 रहेगा. So this 1 indicate your steady state response, which is nothing but CSS. So CSS of t is nothing but your 1. So वो आप डायरेक्टली यहाँ से निकाल पाएंगे. एंड सपोज इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड टू फाइंड आउट इट्स ट्रांजिएंट रिस्पॉन्स, तो सी टी ऑफ टी आपका क्या रहेगा? इट इज सिंपली सी एस एस ऑफ टी माइनस योर सी ऑफ टी. सो सी एस एस ऑफ टी इज नथिंग बट योर 1 माइनस सी ऑफ टी इज नथिंग बट योर दिस एंटायर टर्म. तो यहाँ से 1 और ये 1 कैंसिल हो जाएगा, माइनस माइनस हो जाएगा प्लस, तो आपको क्या मिलेगा? e टू द पावर माइनस टी बाई टाउ और e टू द पावर माइनस टी बाई टी, जो कि आपको यहाँ पर मिला है. So this E of t by default लिखा गया है, this E of t is nothing but your transient response, which is nothing but Ct of t. तो ये चेंज करना पड़ेगा. So this Ct of t indicate your this value. तो आप ऐसे भी निकाल सकते हो या फिर आप ऐसे भी निकाल सकते हो, वन एंड द सेम थिंग. तो बेटर वे है कि आपने ये लॉजिक अप्लाई करना है. इफ यू नो द ओवरऑल रिस्पॉन्स ऑफ द सिस्टम, here if you know the overall response of the system, and suppose if you're interested to find out its transient response, which is nothing but Ct of t, so straight away apply limit t tends to infinite and let us try to calculate the value of this expression. So if you put t equals to infinite, this term is going to be equal to 0, so automatically आपको CSS of t मिल जाएगा. And CSS of t आपको पता चल गया, then apply step number 5 to obtain transient response, which is nothing but CSS of t minus C of t. तो आपको वो भी मिल जाएगा. Are you getting my point?
सर एक डाउट था सर.
हाँ, यस प्लीज.
सर e टू पावर माइनस टी बाय टाउ जो अपन ने लिखा है सर, अगर इसको e टू पावर कैपिटल टी बाय स्मॉल टी अगर लिखते हैं और फिर उसको सर मतलब एरर कैलकुलेट करते हैं तो फिर 1 आएगा ना सर?
बट इन दिस एक्सप्रेशन हियर दिस t is nothing but your what we can say small time of instant ना. So here
Yes.
if in order to calculate the value of your what we can say error signal, then in that case you need to replace this t. आप इसको इंटरचेंज कैसे करेंगे
सर? वो माइनस का साइन जो है e टू पावर माइनस टी बाय टाउ सपोज,
हाँ,
तो अगर वो माइनस हटाना है तो हम लोग उसको 1 बाय जो एक्चुअल वैल्यू है वो लिखते हैं, तो कैपिटल टी जो है सर ऊपर आ जाएगा और स्मॉल टी जो है नीचे चला जाएगा, और फिर हम लोग अगर वहां पे t टेंड्स टू इनफाइनाइट लगाते हैं तो फिर e टू पावर मतलब 0 आ जाएगा सर, और e टू पावर एनीथिंग रेस्ट टू पावर 0 इज नथिंग बट 1.
हाँ.
तो सर फिर जो एरर आ गया वो तो 1 आ गया इसमें.
नहीं, सी यार, जो लॉजिक आप अप्लाई करो दैट इज एप्लीकेबल फॉर योर टाइप 0 सिस्टम. अब ये जो आपका टाइप है ये आपका क्या है? नो डाउट इट इज नथिंग बट अ टाइप 0 सिस्टम. बट टाइप 0 सिस्टम के केस में सी व्हाट इज द एक्सप्रेशन टू कैलकुलेट स्टेडी स्टेट एरर? In this case, here we have this C of s upon R of s. This is nothing but your overall what we can say transfer function. So first of all, you have to calculate the value of g of s. So g of s आपका क्या रहेगा? ये रहेगा 1 upon st. अगर आपने वो लॉजिक अप्लाई करना है तो सबसे पहले आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा? वो सिस्टम का जो पोजिशनल एरर कोएफिशिएंट है वो कैलकुलेट करना पड़ेगा. पहले आप कैलकुलेट करो कि केपी कितना आता है. केपी कितना आएगा ये केस में? समझ में आ रहा है क्या मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं आपको? See here, what is the value of g of s in this case? G of s is nothing but 1 upon st.
Yes.
बरोबर है?
Yes sir.
Okay. Then g of s into h of s क्या रहेगा? Here we have taken a unity feedback system. So h of s कितना रहेगा आपका? 1 रहेगा. So g of s into h of s की वैल्यू कितनी आ जाएगी आपकी? 1 upon st. इसका यूज करके पहले आप kp निकालो. kp क्या रहेगा? लिमिट s टेंड्स टू 0 g of s into h of s.
हाँ सर.
बरोबर है. सो kp का जो वैल्यू है वो क्या रहेगा? लिमिट s टेंड्स टू 0 g of s into h of s. इफ यू पुट s इक्वल्स टू 0 यू विल गेट kp as इनफाइनाइट.
हाँ सर.
बरोबर. अब kp अगर इनफाइनाइट आया तो स्टेडी स्टेट एरर निकालो. ESS इज नथिंग बट 1 upon 1 plus kp.
हाँ सर, तो 0 आ जाता है.
0 आ जाएगा. अब समझ में आया?
हाँ सर.
हाँ, तो वही मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ. आपने क्या किया कि आपने डायरेक्टली ये जो सिस्टम है आई थिंक 1 upon st plus 1 इसी को बाय डिफॉल्ट g of s ले लिया, एंड शायद आपका इसलिए स्टेडी स्टेट एरर जो है वो 1 आ रहा था. आई होप अब आपका डाउट क्लियर हुआ होगा.
यस सर.
ठीक है ना? तो हमेशा याद रखोगे जो टेबल आपने लिया है ना दैट वी डिफाइन विद रिस्पेक्ट टू ओपन लूप ट्रांसफर फंक्शन, जबकि यहाँ जो आपको गिवन है c of s by r of s दिस इंडिकेट योर क्लोज लूप ट्रांसफर फंक्शन. तो अगर आपको वो लॉजिक अप्लाई करना है तो सबसे पहले आपको इसका ओपन लूप ट्रांसफर फंक्शन निकालना पड़ेगा, विच इज नथिंग बट a product of g of s into h of s. So in this case, this indicate your g of s, which is nothing but 1 upon st. So first of all, try to calculate kp, which will be going to be 0. And if you put, which will be going to be infinite. And if you put kp in your ESS, definitely you will get the value of ESS as your 0. Okay, तो वो अप्लाई करो, या फिर आप ये टेक्निक से भी गए तो कोई बात नहीं, आंसर अल्टीमेटली फाइनल एक ही आएगा. समझ में आया?
ओके सर. हाँ सर.
Okay. So this is what the time response analysis your first order control system. So यहाँ बस आपने एक ही चेंज करना है, ये जो E of t है ना, this E of t is nothing but your transient response analysis, तो ये CT of t रहेगा. तो आप उसको डायरेक्टली भी निकाल सकते हैं. The thing is that you need to take limit t tends to infinite of this particular value, so वो जाएगा आपका सॉरी CSS of t, और फिर वहां से आप transient response भी निकाल सकते हैं. But ultimately if you apply that logic or this logic, you will get the value of steady state error as 0. Now if you see equation number 2, in this equation this capital T is known as the time constant of the system. Now what is the time constant and how to define the value of time constant, that we are going to learn. This equation you have to remember, this C of t indicate the overall time response of your control system, which is nothing but 1 minus e to the power minus t by capital T, and here this capital T indicate the time constant of this particular system. Now suppose if you are interested to calculate the value of response of a control system at one time constant, for example अगर मुझे पता करना है कि ये जो C of t का वैल्यू है एक टाइम कांस्टेंट पे कितना रहेगा, तो उसके लिए मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा, ये जो आपके पास में स्मॉल t है विच इज नथिंग बट आवर एक्चुअल टाइम ऑफ इंस्टेंट, इसको मैं रिप्लेस करूंगा वन टाइम कांस्टेंट से. दैट मींस इफ यू पुट द वैल्यू ऑफ स्मॉल t एंड रिप्लेस दैट वैल्यू बाय 1t, then in that case you will came to know what will be the value of the response at one time constant. So I want you to take pen paper. In equation number 2, replace small t by capital T or by 1t. So this t and t will get cancelled, and let us try to calculate the value of response of a system at one time constant and tell me कि आपको क्या मिलता है. So C of t आपका क्या हो जाएगा, 1 minus e to the power minus this small t we need to replace by capital T whole divided by capital T. That means we are trying to calculate the value of the response at one time constant. So this t and this t will get cancelled. You will have 1 minus e to the power minus 1. So take calci and tell me कि ये एक्सप्रेशन का वैल्यू कितना आता है. Tell me the value for this expression 1 minus e to the power minus 1. Yes, चिन्मय कितना आएगा? What will be the value of C of t? LC लीजिए और बताइए मुझे कि ये एक्सप्रेशन कितना आएगा, 1 minus e to the power minus 1. Exactly 0.632. And suppose if you are interested to write in percentage में कितना हो जाएगा ये 63.2%. बरोबर है?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how to define technically what is one time constant or what is time constant? So time constant is defined as the time taken by the response of that system to reach 63.2% of its final value in one attempt or single attempt. So that time elapse or that time lag is known as one time constant. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
What is time constant? Time constant for any physical system is defined as the time taken by the response of that particular system to reach 63.2% of its final value in one attempt. That time lag is known as one time constant. तो आप कोई भी फिजिकल सिस्टम लो, इट इज नॉट एट ऑल नेसेसरी कि वो फर्स्ट ऑर्डर ही होना चाहिए. आप सेकंड ऑर्डर लो, थर्ड ऑर्डर, कोई भी ऑर्डर का सिस्टम लो. अगर आप बोल रहे हो कि वो सिस्टम का वन टाइम कांस्टेंट क्या है, तो आप बोल सकते हो कि आफ्टर वन टाइम कांस्टेंट द रिस्पॉन्स ऑफ दैट सिस्टम इज गोइंग टू रीच 63.2% ऑफ इट्स फाइनल वैल्यू. फॉर एग्जांपल, अब ये सिस्टम का फाइनल वैल्यू क्या रहेगा? फॉर एग्जांपल ये सिस्टम का फाइनल वैल्यू रहेगा इसका स्टेडी स्टेट वैल्यू. और स्टेडी स्टेट वैल्यू आप कैसे निकालोगे? इसका CSS is nothing but limit t tends to infinite of C of t. So if you put t tends to infinite, e to the power minus infinity, this term is going to be what? 0. So इसका जो फाइनल वैल्यू है वो क्या रहेगा? आपका 1 रहेगा. इसका मतलब कि जब ये सिस्टम अपने फाइनल वैल्यू पे पहुंचेगा, सो अल्टीमेटली वो कहां पे रहेगा? 1 पे रहेगा. सो दिस इज द फाइनल वैल्यू ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर system, or this is the final value of response of this particular system. और मैं बोल रहा हूं कि वन टाइम कांस्टेंट के बाद में ये जो सिस्टम है वो उसके फाइनल वैल्यू के 63.2% तक पहुंच जाएगा। इसका मतलब है कि आफ्टर वन टाइम इस सिस्टम का जो रिस्पॉन्स है वो कितना रहेगा, 63.2% ऑफ इट्स फाइनल वैल्यू। सो 63.2% ऑफ वन वो कितना रहेगा, 0.632। That means after one time constant, the response of this system will exactly equal to 0.632. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So this is what the meaning of one time constant. So हमेशा आपने याद रखना है, if you want to define the meaning of time constant, so it is nothing but the time taken by the response of that particular system to reach 63.2% of its final value. So that time lag is known as one time constant. In the same way, suppose if you are interested to find out कि second time constant पे इसके response की value क्या रहेगी, that means what will be the value of the response at two time constant. So can you just tell me, apply the same logic, replace small t by 2t, capital 2 into t, and tell me what will be the response at two time constant. देखो तो क्या आता है। Yes, apply the same logic and tell me the response. Just अभी हमने कैलकुलेट किया response of system at one time constant. So when you replace t by 1t, we will get 0.632. In the same way, try to calculate the response at two time constant. So replace capital small t by capital 2t and tell me कि क्या रहेगा।
0.86।
ओके 0.86। इसके आगे और क्या रहता है और बताइए।
864।
864, very good. That means after second time constant, the response is going to reach 86.4% of its final value. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
In the same way, let us try to calculate the value of response at three time constant. Replace t equal to 3t and tell me what will the value of c of t.
So 0.9502.
0.9502, or in percentage I can say 95.02% of its final value.
Yes, sir.
In the same way, let us try to calculate the response at four time constant. Replace t by 4t.
Sir, 98%.
Yes, 98%.
8%.
और in fraction कितना रहेगा, 0.981. 981. That means the response of system at the end of or by the end of four time constant is 98.1% or 0.981 with respect to this particular case, because the final value is nothing but 1. So if you are interested to define this in terms of percentage, it is 98.1% of its final value. In the same way, if you are trying to calculate the response at fifth time constant, so replace small t by 5t and tell me the value कितना रहेगा।
99%.
Yeah, 0.9932. Or in case of percentage, I can write here as 99.32%. So what is the meaning of this? See here, at
सर एक सैचुरेशन पॉइंट आने के बाद वो टेंड्स टू 1 ही रहेगा, मतलब उसकी जो वैल्यू आएंगी।
exactly, and it is going to be 1 when you put t tends to infinite. Are you getting my point? अगर आपको पता करना है कि c of t का वैल्यू 1 कब है, तो आपको t को रिप्लेस करना पड़ेगा इनफाइनाइट से, तब जाकर के आप बोल सकते हो कि आपका जो सिस्टम का रिस्पॉन्स एग्जैक्टली इक्वल टू 1 है या फिर आपका 100% है, जो कि प्रैक्टिकली पॉसिबल नहीं है। थ्योरेटिकली पॉसिबल है, प्रैक्टिकली आपको उसको ऐसे ही रहने देना पड़ेगा, तो वो जाकर के फिर 1 पे पहुंचेगा। पर प्रैक्टिकली हम लोग उसको छोड़ तो सकेंगे नहीं, तो डेफिनेटली हमें कहीं ना कहीं तो कंक्लूड करना पड़ेगा। तो कहाँ पे कंक्लूड करना है आपने, यहाँ से आप देखो, by the end of one time constant the response is 63.2% of its final value. By the end of second time constant the response is 86.4% of its final value. By the end of third time constant the response is 95% of its final value. By the end of fourth time constant the response is 98% of its final value. And finally, if you try to calculate the response at fifth time constant, it is 99.32% of its final value. So 99.32 is close to 100. इसी का मतलब है कि जब भी आपके सिस्टम का आपको रिस्पॉन्स एनालिसिस स्टडी करना है, तो आप 4 टाइम कांस्टेंट या फिर 5 टाइम कांस्टेंट तक के वो सिस्टम का रिस्पॉन्स स्टडी करो। क्योंकि फिफ्थ टाइम कांस्टेंट तक के जो सिस्टम का रिस्पॉन्स है वो 99.32% ऑफ इट्स फाइनल वैल्यू तक पहुंच जाएगा, जो कि बहुत ही करीब है। उसके बाद में आप 6 टाइम कांस्टेंट पे ले जाओगे तो ये 99.99 समथिंग आएगा एंड द वैल्यू इज गोइंग टू बी क्लोज, बट एग्जैक्टली 100 तो नहीं आएगा। 100 आने के लिए आपको पुट करना पड़ेगा स्मॉल टी का वैल्यू इनफाइनाइट, जो कि एवरलास्टिंग व्हाट वी कैन से प्रोसेस है। सो if you have a physical system and if you are interested to find out the time response analysis of that particular system, तो 5 टाइम कांस्टेंट तक के उसके वैल्यू को स्टडी करो। 5 टाइम कांस्टेंट तक डेफिनेटली वो 99.32% ऑफ इट्स फाइनल वैल्यू तक पहुंच जाएगा। दिस इज व्हाट द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ टाइम रिस्पॉन्स एनालिसिस। So with the help of time response analysis, we are in a position to identify what will be the response of that system at 1 time constant, 2 time constant, 3 time constant, 4 time constant and 5 time constant. And these are standard value. इसका मतलब है कि आप कोई रिस्पॉन्स उसके फाइनल वैल्यू के 63.2। Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
In the same way, if you have any system and if you try to analyze the response by the end of second time constant, so no doubt the response of the system is reaching to 86.4% of its final value. In the same way, if you have any physical system and if you are trying to analyze the response of the system by the end of 3 time constant, it is going to be 95.02% of its final value. And by the end of 5 time constant, it is close to 100, but not exactly 100. It is 99.32% of its final value. So this is what the significance of time constant. So how to define time constant? It is nothing but the time taken by the response of the system to reach 63.2% of its final value in first attempt. That time lag is known as one time constant. So समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
So फिर on this, let us try to calculate the response of system at one time constant. The thing, whatever I mentioned to you, the same things are mentioned. What we can see written over here. So if you try to calculate the response of system at one time constant, that means we need to replace the instantaneous value of small t by capital T. So equation number 2 can be rewritten as like this, and this value you will get as an output. यही मिला था ना आपको? C of t is nothing but 0.61, or in percentage it is nothing but 63.2% or 21% of its final value. So how to define time constant?
सर
तो see,
इसको डीके कांस्टेंट भी बोला जा सकता है सर, क्योंकि ये सेम प्रोसेस डीके
नहीं डीके कांस्टेंट बोला जाता है, बट नाउ वी आर स्टडीइंग द रिस्पांस व्हिच इज इन राइजिंग कर्व, राइजिंग एक्सपोनेंशियल कर्व है। जब आपका कोई वैल्यू डिग्रेड होता है, बराबर ना, तो वो केस में इसको फिर आप डीके कांस्टेंट के टर्म में डिफाइन कर सकते हैं। बट राइट नाउ द रिस्पांस ऑफ द सिस्टम इज कंटिन्यूअसली राइजिंग, दैट टू एक्सपोनेंशियल राइज कर्व है। दैट्स व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज टाइम कांस्टेंट विद एक्सपोनेंशियल राइज कर्व। ठीक है?
ओके सर।
वो जो लॉजिक आप बोल रहे हो कि आपका इनिशियल सिस्टम का रिस्पांस है और फिर अगर मैं सिस्टम का इनपुट रिमूव कर देता हूं तो फिर आपका आउटपुट धीरे धीरे कम होगा, डेफिनेटली वो लॉजिक यहाँ भी अप्लीकेबल है, कोई इशू नहीं है। बट राइट नाउ विद रिस्पेक्ट टू दिस पर्टिकुलर सिस्टम, बिकॉज वी आर ट्राइंग टू एनालाइज द बिहेवियर ऑफ सिस्टम व्हेन इट इज एक्साइटेड बाय सम इनपुट एक्साइटेशन, दैट टू स्टेप इनपुट एक्साइटेशन, तो आपका रिस्पॉन्स 0 से 1 की तरफ पहुंच रहा है। दैट मीन्स वी हैव ए राइजिंग एक्सपोनेंशियल कर्व। आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
यस सर।
So write down this. So time constant is defined as the time taken by the response of the system to reach 63.21% of its final value. So this is what one time constant is, and this is very, very important. And you must know what is the meaning of time constant. So from next lecture onwards, किसी ने भी अगर आपको पूछा कि what do you mean by time constant, so you have to define like this. So it is nothing but the time taken by the response to reach 63.21% of its final value. So that time lag is known as one time constant. तो समझ में आया कि 63.2% कहां से आया और क्यों आया?
Yes sir.
This is very important. So I want you to please note down this. And just now we have calculated the response of the system for different time constant, and those values I have indicated on this graph. So at time t equal to now 1 time constant, the response is 0.632 of its final value. Here final value is 1, that's why it is 0.632. But if it is 100%, definitely it is going to be 63.21 of its final value. So at one time constant, the response is 63.2% of its final value. At two time constant, the response is 86.5%. So this indicate your 0.865. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
In the same way, at three time constant, see 95%, close to 95. So this is what 95% or 0.95. At four time constant, 98.2%. So somewhere over here. So this indicate your 0.982. In the same way, if you try to calculate the value of response at five time constant, it is close to 99.3, very, very close to 1. So somewhere over here, यहाँ कहीं तो भी आएगा एकदम पास में. So this is 0.993. This is important. So this is what the significance of time response analysis of control system and the significance of time constant. So कोई भी सिस्टम का अगर आपको टाइम रिस्पॉन्स स्टडी करना है तो 5 टाइम कांस्टेंट तक स्टडी करो, क्योंकि 5 टाइम कांस्टेंट तक उस पर्टिकुलर सिस्टम का रिस्पॉन्स 99.3% ऑफ इट्स फाइनल वैल्यू पहुंच जाएगा, विच इज क्लोज टू 100%. उसके बाद कोई जरूरत नहीं उसका स्टडी करने का, क्योंकि वो 99.3% तक पहुंच गया, इसका मतलब आगे वो फिर रिमेनिंग वैल्यू को जो है वो कवर करेगा. So this is what the significance of time constant and why normally we study the response of system up to 4 time constant or 5 time constant, because 5 time constant तक response 99.3% तक पहुंच जाता है, तो आप फिर स्टडी कर पाएंगे उस सिस्टम का आसानी से. So I want you to please draw this diagram and mention the value of response at various time constant. At 1 time constant, what is the value? At 2 time constant, what will be the response value? At 3, and you have to remember this. ये हमेशा आपने याद रखना है. अभी आपने डिराइव किया है, बट आपको ये हमेशा याद रखना पड़ेगा कि 1 टाइम कांस्टेंट मतलब 63.2%, 2 टाइम मतलब 86, 3 टाइम मतलब 95. सो ये आपने याद रखना है. ठीक है. Have you done with this? ड्रॉ कर लिया?
Yes,
सर
sir.
हाँ, यस.
सर 5T तक के वो जो पीरियड जो रहेगा, मतलब जो रेंज है उसका,
हाँ,
सर उसको ट्रांजिएंट बोलेंगे ना सर?
हाँ, ट्रांसिएंट बोलेंगे.
और उसके बाद वाला फिर सर स्टेडी में काउंट किया जाएगा ना?
एग्जैक्टली, स्टडी में काउंट किया जाएगा. एक्चुअली वो मैंने यहाँ शो किया नेक्स्ट फिगर में.
ओके
दिस इज
सर.
व्हाट यू आर डाउट
हाँ
ना.
सर. हाँ
सो नॉर्मली 4T या 5T, 4T तक देखते हैं. एक्चुअली ना, जो ट्रांजिएंट रिस्पॉन्स है कब खत्म होता है और स्टेडी स्टेट कब शुरू होता है, उसके लिए हमें टॉलरेंस लेवल डिसाइड करना पड़ता है. तो टॉलरेंस लेवल दो तरीके से हम लोग डिफाइन करते हैं. एक तो +-2% ऑफ फाइनल वैल्यू रहेगा या +-5% ऑफ फाइनल वैल्यू रहेगा. सो +-2% नॉर्मली क्लोज होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आपका 1 है, सो 1 का 2% कितना रहेगा? 0.02. सो इफ द रिस्पॉन्स वैल्यू इज क्लोज टू 0.98 और इट इज 1.02, सो अगर आपका रिस्पॉन्स 0.98 से 1.02 के स्पैन में आ रहा है, तो मैं बोल सकता हूं कि आपका ट्रांजिएंट रिस्पॉन्स खत्म हो गया और स्टेडी स्टेट रिस्पॉन्स शुरू हो गया. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
यस सर.
एंड दैट टाइम स्पैन इज कॉल्ड एज सेटलिंग टाइम. हम लोग पढ़ेंगे, बहुत डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे जब हम लोग टाइम डोमेन स्पेसिफिकेशन ऑफ कंट्रोल सिस्टम पढ़ेंगे. देयर आई एम गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन यू what is the meaning of settling time and what will happen if you take the tolerance level of +-2%, how to calculate the value of settling time in that range. If the tolerance level is from +-5%, then in that case how to calculate the value of settling time, that we are going to learn in detail. Uska derivation bhi karna hai. But for time being, if the response of control system is up to 4T or 5T, we can say that the transient response is over, and from that point onward, whatever the behavior which is shown by that particular system in the form of time response, that indicate the steady state response of that particular system. So 4T के पहले का जो भी रहेगा ये रहेगा आपका ट्रांजिएंट. 4T के बाद जो रहेगा, this is nothing but your steady state response, and this T indicates 0.63. Now you came to know that this T is nothing but your one time constant. So I want you to draw this, which indicate how the overall response of the system is going to vary for first order control system when it is excited by a unit step input signal. In the next lecture, we are going to start the remaining topic for this course, which is nothing but the time response analysis for second order control system. जैसा अभी हमने फर्स्ट ऑर्डर कंट्रोल सिस्टम के लिए किया, सेम प्रोसेस हम लोग अब सेकंड ऑर्डर कंट्रोल सिस्टम के लिए भी अप्लाई करेंगे और चेक करेंगे कि सेकंड ऑर्डर कंट्रोल सिस्टम का जो रिस्पॉन्स है या जो ट्रांजिट रिस्पॉन्स है या फिर जो स्टेडी स्टेट रिस्पॉन्स है वो किस तरीके से चेंज होगा. Have you done with this? ड्रॉ कर लिया आपने ये?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.